Hello and welcome to 5-Year Club video number 359, where I will tell you a little bit about one way that I've saved a substantial amount of money on air travel for the past few years. Let's look at this article. The cheapest time of the year to fly, the dead zones. Also a quality Stephen King work. Are you missing out on the cheapest time of year to fly? You could be if you don't know the dead zones, sometimes called the deal zones. These are simply unpopular times to fly, and unpopular means more money in your pocket. The biggest dead zones. These are 4 of the biggest deal zones during the year. Early December, typically the first 2 weeks of December, sandwiched between the big peak travel periods of the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas, New Year's. January, most of the month, once the New Year's travel rush subsides, generally around January 7th. Spring, not as cheap as January. January does not apply to traditional spring break weeks in March or April. And fall, this deal zone usually gets underway in late August. There is usually another price drop in October. And I've taken advantage of all these. When I did my hiking trip, scroll down. Yeah, that was in August up to Seattle, Pacific Northwest. I want to take a spring trip back up there because I think that the rainy months in the spring will be especially good. But the most money I've saved has been by flying in early December and then in later January. I think usually it's like January 4th or 5th. I've gotten good cheap tickets. So this is what I've done is for Thanksgiving, I do not fly back home. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Because I'm on the West Coast, they're on the East Coast, so for me to fly over there for Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's twice as expensive as simply doing one trip. So instead what I do is in early December, I will typically fly, December 13th, say, to Georgia. I am lucky enough that my job allows me to work remotely, and so I know that's not true for everyone. I will say that personal finance is a system, and accomplishing your goals in life is a system. And the ability to work remotely is a big advantage systematically, the flexibility to be able to change your location, while you're still earning money. So when you change jobs, think about that as a perk. Think about that and how much you value it and what employers might offer that to you, or what types of jobs you might want to do that would allow you to work remotely. Not everybody can do it, obviously. Or perhaps there's a side hustle. And when you think about what side hustle you might enjoy, think about side hustles that you could do remotely, that you could do anywhere, because there is a big advantage to it. So yeah, I would fly there in mid-December. I would work probably 2 of the 3 weeks that I was there, and then I would fly back in, January 4th or 5th, something like that. The round-trip ticket was about $305 or $315 for the past few years, and that was on Southwest. So yeah, I like Southwest. The other thing about January is that, and you'll have to look at your work's schedule, is that there is a 3-day weekend in the middle of January, or mid to late January. I forgot which holiday it is, if it's Martin Luther King or President's Day. It's one of those two. Sorry, both Martin Luther King and President's Day, that I don't know which weekend you are. I respect both of you. I just don't remember the date. Sorry. So yeah, not a bad way to work your holiday is to take it a little bit easier on Christmas and New Year's, and instead do a bigger trip around that 3-day weekend. Maybe take a couple days off work then, and save a little bit of money on these expensive flights. I can also say for this spring season, actually, I took a really good trip to Vietnam. I think that was in February, and that is during their New Year. So the weather was pretty hot, I'll admit, but that definitely did save me a little bit of money, I think, on the on the international plane ticket. Yep. All right, well, that is it for video 359. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll think about when your travel is planned and how you can maybe manipulate a flight or two in 2019 to save money over 2018. Have a fabulous evening.